What's going on, everyone? This is On the Floor with Liv and Cor, and this is episode 5 of the On the Floor with Liv and Cor podcast. We are on the floor. Today's a great day. We can't wait to tell you about some amazing bubbles that we have for you. But Olivia, how's your weekend been? It has been a gnarly one for both of us. Are you okay?
I'm tired.
I
I'm
know.
tired. I watched so much gymnastics, and then I was on call for the Nebraska Maryland meet.
You crushed
And
it.
thank
You
you.
absolutely crushed it, by the way.
Thank you. It was a great meet. So I had that on Sunday, and then I'm gearing up now just for another week. And so my gymnastics mind is like so happy, but I'm tired. So I do have my friend, my emotional support dog. This is Antonia.
Oh, everyone, this is my favorite corgi in all of the universe. She's everyone's favorite. Antonia, it's your Uncle Corey right
Say hi,
here.
Uncle
Hey.
Corey. You say hi,
Yeah,
Uncle Corey. So I
yeah.
have my emotional support pooch because I am exhausted and I need puppy love.
I
So
love
yes.
it.
How are you? Because you hyped again and I gave you a challenge of burning 2,000 calories. How did your challenge go?
Well, let's just say I scored a 10.1, as we do in, DP. So I got a 10.1 because I hit 2,300 calories on Friday night, Arkansas versus LSU, hyping up Bud Walton Arena. It was the craziest night of my life, but it was a total blast.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
It was the best, but I'm still recovering. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that my face is bright red because I just finished a yoga class because I needed a namaste moment.
Frozen.
Yes, I
Yes.
needed a namaste.
Nama, stay in bed.
Namaste in bed. I wanted to, yeah, but
Uh-huh. Yeah.
unfortunately, my condo shut the water off in the whole building today, so
Mm,
I've been homeless. Anyways,
mm.
okay. I just feel like it's a good moment. Like I'm glad we like checked on each other. It is a good moment in time to just do a general wellness check. I feel like as I've been watching Twitter, as I've been watching gymnastics, as I've been around the NCAA in a couple different avenues and talking to people. January has been the longest month, it feels like
Oh my
ever.
God, right? It's like January 74th tomorrow. I
Okay.
can't.
Correct. And I just want to make sure everyone has a moment to do a wellness check. So, with that being said, I just put the Twitter away for 10 minutes after you listen to this episode. Find your breath, maybe stretch a little bit, have your favorite beverage, call a
Squeeze your
friend,
corgi.
squeeze your corgi. And maybe you exercise some gratitude in this moment as well, because there is so much that I am grateful for. And in the heat of people setting resolutions and new goals, new year, kicking off NCAA gymnastics season, um, you know, lots of conversation about scoring and attendance and tens and different things happening at all times. I just think it's a great time to take a reset moment, take a big deep breath, and crack open a sparkling water because that's what we're about to do. So that was my wellness check moment
Good
on this
check.
one. Yeah. So Olivia, we let's find out what sparkling water you brought today. And let me tell you, for those of you who have been following along, I confirmed that I did bring sparkling water today.
Yeah, you cheated last week. Okay, I'm rolling with another Highboy LaCroix. I'm rolling with a blackberry cucumber today. Now, this can, I feel like I'm like, this can to me gives like refreshing. And I'm just in desperate need of something really refreshing right now. So I'm going with the Mure Pepino.
I'm so glad you hit us with that accent.
Thank you. What do you have? Your actual sparkling water this week.
Yeah. Barry LaCroix.
I
You
mean,
know?
that's a classic. I almost brought a regular LaCroix, but I'm so glad we're on the LaCroix train
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Bravo. All right, let's crack them.
Absolutely. All right, crack them. In three, two, one. Just so we're clear, I just got sparkling water all over my laptop. So,
Cheers, dear.
cheers. Um, it was a crazy weekend of gymnastics. It was a crazy
Insane.
weekend of scoring. It was a crazy weekend of attendance, lots of growth, some new leotards. some skills I have
Yes.
quite literally never seen before in my life, and we're going to cover all of it right now. So, to get us started, I have a new idea. Are you
Oh
ready?
my God, hit me with it.
For those of you who are not logged into mine or Olivia's Twitter account or X account, um, over the course of 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, our DMs just blow up with each other because we're just constantly sending things to one another. So, Olivia, I thought we would start something new where we just run down and name and talk about the things that we sent to each other.
Shut
So,
up. I'm obsessed. I
okay,
love that
open
idea.
open your Twitter account, get ready.
Okay, wait, this is great. Okay.
And we need to start on Saturday. You sent me a tweet,
Yes.
the Air
Okay,
Force beam lineup. Hit us
this
with that.
is nuts. Okay, so scrolling, saw someone tweet, OMG, the Air Force beam lineup has such acro series originality. And I was like, ooh, tell me more. And they posted a video. So God bless whoever you are for doing this. First series, side aerial, swing through, side aerial, arabesque. Such Helen Who vibes. Stunning.
Right.
Second series is handstand back handspring layout. So adding a handstand in there. Third, side aerial, swing through to side semi. Fourth, gainer back handspring into a layout step out. And then a side aerial into a back handspring. That is so cool and impressive. And whoever did this, like, put the video up there. So kudos, because, like, watching it, they all hit every series too. No one wobbled. It was amazing.
It's amazing. Like, I feel like there's this conversation about how many Jaeger immediate shoot over routines can we
Right.
see in bars, or how many Maloney Packer Maloney Bale routines can we see in one line, especially like a Maloney Bale double A routine. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Guilty.
And then Air Force is hitting us with the most unique, the most incredible.
It's amazing. Yeah, that's a great one to start off on. And if you haven't seen that yet, you should look at it because it was very, very impressive.
I love that. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, my next message that I sent to Olivia, um, it's a it's a tweet from Nicole Curler Jones, the assistant coach at Michigan State University. I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it. Kayla and I were talking at practice this week that she's too tall to jump into my arms after she sticks, and that I needed to jump into hers instead. So when she stuck yesterday, I couldn't let her down. This was in response to Olivia tweeting, "Stupendous core strength from Nicole Curler Jones on that jump hug. Well done." This is
It's
incredible.
amazing. It was
Incredible.
amazing. I had my teammate from college, Kaylee Hills. She was a year above me and medically retired. And when I would stick a ball, I would jump into her arms. And I always would be so impressed by the stilettos and the jump, you know? But what's even more impressive about this is Nicole leaping into Kayla. She and Kayla might be like turning around ready to high five other people. Nicole is just koala jumping into Kayla's arms, and she like held her for a good portion of it. I was like, no notes, no
Oh
notes,
no, no notes.
no
Nicole,
notes.
Nicole, thank you for training. Thank you for all of your effort here. This was incredible. Keep
And
going.
Kayla is drilling these vaults, so I just like need more of them. Like I need more of this content consistently, please. Thank you.
Correct. Okay, hit us with your tweet.
Okay, my next one came. So, first of all, if anyone didn't watch Auburn, Oregon State this weekend, I don't know what you were doing because it was drama with the how it ended up at the end, but it was just back to back excellent gymnastics from both teams.
And a
So,
lot and a
regardless,
lot of the color orange, if I have to make my
it was
addition.
a lot of orange. You're
A lot of
totally
orange.
right.
Yeah.
And despite how there were some like inquiries that ended up deciding the outcome, whatever that may be, it was still a fantastic competition. But someone tweeted, I think everyone should know that Jade Carey surpassed Michaela Skinner on number of consecutive hit routines in the NCAA this past weekend. She is at 165. Michaela got to 161. Everyone just let that process really quick that Jade Carey has hit 165 consecutive routines in competition. Wild.
Not to mention the variety of skills that she's presented to the
Right.
NCAA in her career. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
we will get to this when we get to bars bubbles a little bit later in our event bubbles, because I put a Jade Carey bar bubble in there.
Yeah.
Little. teaser for later in the episode. Um, Kudos, Jade. Thank
That's
you.
so impressive and so fantastic to see. And like you just mentioned, the difficulty she brings, she is not a Maloney Bale double A routine. She did add the double A. That's spectacular. I'm taking your bubble. But I mean, it's just so good. And so that is such amazing, like just incredible, incredible kudos to Jade for that. No notes.
Couldn't agree more. The next tweet I sent to Olivia was the gorgeous, blingy GK Leo that Denver debuted this week.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
black, very well done with the rhinestone decisions. I was just so impressed. And I actually tweeted, no, I texted Tom Parrott, the hype guy for Denver, and his exact words were, "It is incredibly blingy and shiny and amazing in person." And I just, well done, Denver. It's a great leotard.
It
It's
looks gorgeous on the athletes too.
absolutely,
Gorge. Yeah, I
absolutely.
love, love,
And
love.
our last tweet that was sent, I need you to take this one.
Okay, yes. So I don't know how many people saw this, but a DP athlete, Andy Marshall, she's a class of 2028. Let that sink in. She performed a gainer layout step out directly connected to a layout step out. So we talked about Calixta Gamio, and then we talked about, or excuse me, Callista. I put an X in there. Callista Gamio. And then we talked about Kiko doing these amazing standing lay series. And Andy does the same from a gainer. So from one leg in the first layout into the second. The second one rises. It's to die for. So if you're a college coach listening and you're looking to recruit some beamers coming up, I would take a peek at that. It was fantastic.
Gorgeous and floaty and amazing. But
Lovely.
yes, can we just take a moment for um, our own wellness that we're talking about an athlete starting college in 2028?
Mm,
That means that they were born likely after 2010.
I don't want to think about that.
All right,
And
I
I'm really
digress.
wishing this LaCroix was spiked.
Correct. I digress. We move on.
We
Andy,
move on.
that's amazing. Okay, that's a new fun little segment. Maybe we
I
should keep
like that.
that was fun.
Cute.
Okay, let's go to our event bubbles of the week. Starting on vault. Um,
I'm going to start because I feel really
please,
passionately about this.
please.
So, a lot of people were talking about this on the interwebs, but Michigan State competes 6 10-0 start value balls. Okay. Mix between 1.5s and the beautiful pike, handspring pike half from Sage Kellerman. 4 out of 6 stuck landings. First two, I think it was Kayla Tucker, Katie in second spot, stuck hers, Nikki Smith, and Sage Kellerman. 4 stuck vault, 49.45. Excellent score. Not to diminish, it was the second highest vault score of the weekend. It was fantastic. So impressive. Nikki is 3 out of 4 for stuck Yurchenko 1.5s. I'm going to vomit. That's so impressive. Just I'm just loving what I'm seeing from Michigan State. And I think they're really figuring out the game
Totally.
while doing the difficulty. And we've thought this for a while, but every year I just see more confidence in them. And I just will never not be impressed by that vault lineup. And I know we just talked about Nicole Curler Jones jumping into Kayla Tucker's arms. Amazing. But you have to spotlight that. It was actually my gold medal moment from my weekly podium with Big Ten this week.
By the way, I'm loving those weekly podium moments you're doing on
Thank
the Big
you. Thank
Gymnastics
you. Shout
account.
out Miss Abby Larson for the idea. It's been very fun.
Ugh, Abby, my heart.
So good.
Okay, our next vault bubble comes from Oregon State's Carly Chavez. I think everyone probably saw this reaction to her tucked Yurchenko 1.5. She had the absolute best reaction to her stuck vault, right? We had a little bit of like staggered feet on the landing. And I have to admit, I was talking to someone about this because I watched the competition 2 nights ago. And I was talking to someone, I go, I don't know if I'm obsessed with her, like her facial reaction. Is it the space buns that I'm
I think
like
it's a
uh,
combo.
for? Because then she got to floor and she's doing her floor routine. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is just like Carly Chavez giving personality, giving life, giving
Yeah.
amazing. And then she adds a stuck 10-0 start value vault to it.
So
I'm so
good.
here for it. So Carly, kudos. Well done. Well done.
Well
All
done.
right, bars bubbles. Let's go to bars bubbles. You get us started with this amazing Keely Smith bar.
Yes, so I am so impressed by these Rutgers freshmen. I think Rutgers has been in need of a very strong class, and I think they've got it. And Keely Smith does a gorgeous bar routine. Maloney pack. She goes up to the high bar, clear hip, blindfold, double tuck. Very good technique on the blindfold. It's not a dumpy blindfold, it's very good.
Right.
And practically sticks that double back every time. It only went 985. Again, I'm not even going to open the door to scoring a 985 in certain circumstances. Fantastic. It doesn't matter. But the routine is excellent. And she's definitely one of those athletes I could see as her career progresses at Rutgers, or if she, wherever she is in her collegiate career, learning a new dismount for an e dismount. I could totally see that. She has the height, she has the technique. You can tell that she's just very comfortable on bars. So that was a major highlight for me this weekend in their meet at Penn State.
Amazing, amazing.
Love.
Okay, my bar bubble is actually from a Kent State athlete.
Tell me
Okay.
more.
I saw this one come up on Twitter. The athlete's name is Nastya Rudnitskaya, a gorgeous 985 bar set. She ended up winning bars at the meet this weekend. This is an amazing routine, and I have it written down here. It was a blind to piked Jaeger, kip cast,
Mm,
pack, beautiful floaty, amazing pack, and then to a double layout stuck, right? A basic, amazing routine we've seen before,
yeah.
but something for me to add to our bars bubbles because it just has that exclamation point on it, right? When we see these beautiful routines that just, right, we talk about the Kiko Jong straight body cast. We talk about
Hmm.
these really unique elements. We have the Casey Brown dismount,
Mm.
stuck dismount from Cal. These moments that just really stand out. And I had to mention Nastia from Kent State because it was one of those that really took my breath away when I turned it on Twitter. It was amazing. Nastia,
Love.
Kent State, amazing. Well done.
Love. Okay, this one, I don't know. I have a couple other ones. My first one is Peyton Walker from Bama. She anchors Bama's bar lineup. She has the best hair I've ever seen in my life. This gorgeous, voluptuous, curly, beautiful ponytail. Like I just want to like take her hair and like put it on my head. I just am obsessed with it. And she starts massive pack. Like massive pack goes right into Kipan Maloney in bar Ginger, and in bar Gingers can get a teens dumpy. No, 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 no. This thing has height and amplitude in between the bars to die, and then half in, half out to a stuck landing. I'm like, that's breathtaking.
When I was watching it,
Breathtaking.
one of the things that I like took note of was how she walked off the mat. She stuck her dismount. She like high-fived some teammates and she was just like, "Yeah, I did that. Okay, next." And moved on. And I was like, "We do this in our sleep." That is what Peyton Walker was giving in this bar routine. And I'm so here for it. And yes, the hair was flawless, amazing, gorgeous. What's your shampoo? That's all I want to know.
And it's so impressive to do that good of a bar routine with like hair flying everywhere.
Right.
Like this is not a condensed ballerina bun. We're talking like let
And
it
it never
fly.
and it never should be. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't agree more. And then my other one, I know I said that I covered the Maryland Nebraska meet this weekend. I love her so much. And I actually had a little oopsie on the broadcast. I called Emma Spence a graduate, a fifth year. Emma Spence is not a fifth year. Emma Spence is a true senior. And the classy, lovely woman that she is sent me a DM on Instagram and said, "Hey, I just wanted to say, like, thank you so much for the meet. It was awesome. I watched a couple clips. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm actually a senior, not a fifth year. And like, I just wanted to correct you." It was so classy. It was not rude. It was incredibly, like, it made me feel so good because she felt comfortable to say, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that's all as an analyst I want is for the student athletes to correct me if I say something incorrect, because that's going to live in the archives of their life one day." And so that just, Emma, I don't know if you're listening to this, but like, thank you so much. It just made me feel like even though I made a mistake, I'm still doing something right. And for you to tell me just like it just made me so happy. So thank you for that. She ended up winning the all around and just that bar routine from heaven, the Maloney to pack, directly connected to the toe hand into the Van Leeuwen blindfold double back. Just she just gets it.
And she got a Big Ten Gymnast of the Week award this year.
Yeah, she
Is that
did.
right?
She had such a great meet. It was just so awesome to see her retire from elite and just put her focus into NCAA and just have a ball. And taking the hair out of the pony after the three rotations and going to floor and taking their hair out of the bun and doing the pony for floor is just, I called it hair choreo on the broadcast. I just like love that. It just feels so loose and so her. So yeah, I love it.
It's
I love her.
that moment is giving Kyla Ross because after beam, she would, throw her hair into that braid. I remember specifically, I believe it was 2017 Nationals. She didn't actually know she was going in on floor. And after she finished her beam routine, I remember Miss Val walked up to her and said, "You're actually going in on floor. Get ready." And Jordan Weber, at the time was volunteer coach, walked up behind her. And while she was getting the news she was going on floor, Jordan started taking her bun out and like braiding her hair for her because that was just the way that the plan was unfolding of how she was. It was basically to make sure that Kyla wasn't in her head on beam
Right.
about needing to go to floor.
Right.
And this is how it happened, but I just significantly remember that moment of how the hair switch happened.
We love a hair switch.
Yeah, we love that. I also want to take a moment. Can I circle back to something you were just talking about of
Yeah.
getting feedback from a student athlete in your
Yeah.
DM? Olivia, kudos to you because number one, you made a mistake, you got feedback, you're admitting that you were incorrect in that. And you're accessible for these student athletes to be able to have your DMs open and to be able to collect this information and make sure that you are accurate. Because the line that stood out for me that you just said is recognizing that you, as an analyst, are putting words over the top of beautiful gymnastics by these student athletes in the country for the archives that will be with them the rest of their lives. And I just wanted to take a moment to honor and react to the importance and the intention that I know that you're pouring into what you're doing for student athletes around the country. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Thanks. And thank you. Seriously, thank you to Emma. I mean, that is classy stuff
Yeah.
and just so honest and true. And I just firmly believe that that's who she is in and out as a gymnast. And I told her in the message, I was like, I'm just so proud of you as an athlete and a human. Like, you're just a good, solid human. So it just really was like, it was honestly a day maker for me.
Oh,
Like,
good.
that's how the
So
community is
cool.
supposed to be. So
So
major
cool.
shout out.
Okay, I have one more bar bubble.
Yes.
I need more flowers and more attention for Jade Carey bars. Okay, we are we stand the vault queen, right? We have an Olympic medal on vault. We have crazy hard tumbling at the Olympics and the elite level from Jade to get a high difficulty score, known for her power in all those ways. She has put up some really gritty, unique gymnastics on bars. And this year in particular, the Toan Bahardwaj Van Leeuwen double layout routine that she's doing
So good.
is so good and so difficult with unique skills that she's doing.
Yeah.
And that double layout that she learned is incredible. Just the
Yeah.
hips, the open hips that she's presenting in that double layout are some of my favorite to watch. And she's just, all I'm saying, she's not one of the athletes that we would think of when we first think about bars.
Hmm.
But the bars she's throwing down this year is really impressive.
I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, I have an honorable mention bars bubble.
Oh.
I just mentioned Bahardwaj,
Yeah.
and it of course makes me think of Frida Esparza from
Duh.
UCLA.
Duh.
Did you see her this weekend? She stuck her dismount, she saluted the judge, and then she pointed at her feet and was like, "I stuck." It was amazing. And I was like,
She's so great. I
"This is
love
so
her.
cute. This is so
That's
cute."
awesome.
Anyways,
When I think of Bahardwaj, I think of hers too.
for sure.
It's
For,
so good.
for
Okay,
sure.
let's hit beam.
Go for it.
All right, I'm starting off with Georgia freshman Brooke Glykowski. 995 beam at their meet this last weekend. Gorgeous triple series back handspring, back handspring lay. I'm loving as an overarching umbrella to freshmen this year that there's a lot of difficulty. I feel like freshmen this season in particular have been like raising the bar with difficulty. And every time I talk about a freshman, I feel like they're doing a triple series. Like Marissa Neal, same thing, 9975 on beam, like triple series. We talked about her last week, but like remarkable routine. And she's one of those also that her dismount, the 1.5 rises. It is not beam height, it's up.
Right.
It's what you want, right? So major shout out to both Brooke and Marissa from some SEC freshman energy. I just love that. And then another one that just stuck out to me so much was Bama senior Corinne Bunnigan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm incorrect, please correct me. Her beam, we kind of talked about this last week about like the aggressive and quickness of beam. And she has that crisp and sharp, like, I love it. Again, it's very Romanian-esque. Like, I adore it. And she just attacks beam. She is one of those beam workers that you look at and you just think she feels so comfortable that she attacks. And I couldn't go without complimenting that routine because it was just excellent.
Those are some great ones. Those are some great
Yeah,
ones.
those are my major
Okay,
ones.
did you happen to watch LSU Arkansas this weekend?
I did.
Okay. I need to just have a moment for the way that Connor McLean saved her front aerial back handspring.
Oh my God, that was superhero stuff.
Superhero. In any other athlete, I truly believe she would have gone front aerial, stop,
Mm-hmm.
dance, 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 reset, front aerial, back handspring. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, no, no. We are off on a front aerial. We keep our arms moving, and we basically do like this gainer back handspring. Hips are to the side. We know exactly where our body is, and we land. We land. We do it.
She is so impressive on so many different levels. I did see that, and I did like a whoop at home when I was watching by myself, and I was like, wow,
Correct.
wow, pure athleticism right there.
Yeah, correct, correct.
Amazing.
And my other beam bubble this week, I actually attended the University of Washington versus University of Michigan meet in Seattle.
Yes.
Um, Number one, I think I'm obsessed with Kaylee Boozer.
Get in line.
hmm I
Get
think I'm
in
obsessed
line.
with Kaylee Boozer. So she was one of three 9.9s on beam this weekend. They threw down a beautiful beam rotation and it was incredibly impressive. I will say, I believe that some of those routines should have had a little bit of a separation from one another. Like, I don't believe all three of them were 9.9s. I think some of them could have been higher and some of them might not have been 9.9. But we're highlighting us three 9.9s in one beam rotation and some great beam work. So kudos to the Wolverines for some amazing beam.
At like 12:30 their time, 12:30
Correct.
a.m. I mean, the
Correct.
meet started at 11 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Pacific time, but it's late.
Correct.
So they were doing beam at 12:30. Very impressive. Very impressive. And I do agree with you. I think there's something about Kaylee Boozer on beam that just emulates a little bit of what we were talking about earlier with Corinne from Bama. It's very confident, it's very sharp and precise. And I think that is a separator for me in beam. And so I do agree with your analysis on that. And I hope that we see a little I hope we see the Wolverines play around with their beam lineup because I think there's so much talent in it that you could kind of be it could be interesting to see how it works in different with people in different spots. But yeah, that was a highlight for me too.
For sure, for sure. I love it. Those are my beam bubbles.
The other thing that I will say, and I know we touched a lot on Oregon State already today, and we kind of talked about the craziness at that Auburn meet. They looked fantastic on beam at
Mm,
Auburn. And again, to do beam it's like at an away meet, you're ending on beam. Everyone does it in an away meet, but also at Auburn, that is notoriously an incredibly loud, like the gymnasties are doing floor, everything is like intense. I just thought that they looked so comfortable, so confident. There was no if, ands, or buts. No one looked nervous. And I just think that the stick chainsaw is the funniest thing in the entire world, and I must know how it goes to travel meets because it is a full-blown chainsaw.
Here's the deal. You know, one of those team managers has been tasked with getting that chainsaw onto an airplane to every competition.
That is so impressive.
I've never been tasked with something. We didn't have like a stick we had to bring or, a plunger hat or whatever the
We had
case.
a squash my freshman year.
A squash like a vegetable.
Yeah, we went to the grocery store and we bought a squash, sequoia.
Did you buy different squash or was it one squash the whole
It
season?
was one squash for most of the season, and then we cooked her the end of the year. We made fries.
Oh, that is that is some behind the scenes stuff. But back to how to get a chainsaw onto an airplane. I just have so many questions because in my mind, I'm like, this poor manager is walking up to TSA being like, "Hey, sir, I took my shoes off already, but can I get this chainsaw through the metal detector?" Like, no, you can't. No, you really can't. I don't even care. I don't. I don't even care if this is like a Fisher Price chainsaw. They're bringing a full-blown chainsaw, and
I
I'm
love it.
I'm hoping one day I'm going to ask. I will be asking this question. I will
Yes.
text Tanya and Michael and ask, is there a road case for this? Is there a special suitcase? Who who has extra bags on American Airlines to make sure that they can, without charge, get their chainsaw to Auburn, Alabama?
Could you imagine too, when there's like you forget to take out like a tube of toothpaste and they undo your entire suitcase you sat on, right? And they open it up and they go, "Excuse me?" Like,
Yeah.
"Excuse me, this is weaponry."
I have this picture of like a Mary Poppins bag, like a carpet bag, and they're like, there's something in here that we're unsure about. All of a sudden, like,
It's like fully on the TSA monitor of just like literally like an entire saw. And they're like, "Looks peculiar. Let's open the bag."
right, and then
So
there's
funny.
right, there's like Jade Carey standing there being like, but sir, if we stick, we get to put it in the air. She's like, you just
"Please,
gotta do it.
sir, please."
Please, sir, we must have a chainsaw. Okay, we have to move on. We have.
We have to move on. Let's go to floor.
Okay, floor. Okay, I have to start with my first floor bubble, and this comes from men's artistic gymnastics. Please tell me you saw the glory, the gold, the maize and blue that we are seeing of Charlie
Yes,
Larson on floor,
breathtaking.
just crushing it. The laid out
It
double double first pass. I believe at some point this weekend I saw a compilation of just him sticking them, 2 feet sticking them over and over and over again. Then we saw the other pass that really stood out to me was
the
the
second pass.
the second pass was incredible. Laid out
Oh
full
my
in,
God.
right? Hips open, just amazing. But then we were like, Olivia and I were texting about Emily Innes this weekend because we're obsessed with her. But her first pass just being iconic. And my words to Olivia after I watched Charlie's 14 is I was like, oh, his third pass just decided to one up Emily Innes, decided to go front double full, front lay. That
To
was
like
just
a
floaty.
rising floaty front leg. Just like, what planet do you live on, Charlie Larson?
Charlie, we are big fans.
Dang. That
Everyone
was good.
go follow Charlie Larson. He has great content on social. He
So
transferred
good.
from Minnesota over to Michigan this year. Go and follow Men's Artistic Gymnastics. It's
So good.
amazing. Great job, Charlie.
Amazing.
Yeah. You take these other two floor bubbles. You
Yes,
very passionate about these this
I
weekend.
am. Okay, the first one, I again was on call for that Nebraska Maryland meet, and Nebraska, like native, hometown hero, Lauren Homicello, anchored floor for the Huskers. They already notched the win over Maryland. She goes into the floor lineup, first time ever in the competitive lineup. She's done exhibition routines, and I actually flagged her routine in my pre-meet research. And on my call with Heather Brink, the head coach at Nebraska, I said, Heather, when are we going to see her in the lineup? Like, she just looks great. And Heather was like, maybe she'll be in this week. And next thing you know, she goes in, she anchors 995, career high, first time out in the lineup, wins the event, Big Ten co-event specialist of the week, just everything. Like, she just got it all, and it was so well deserved. And so I just was so proud of her and excited to be on the call for that. That is just quite a moment. So major kudos to Lauren. And then my other one is about Iowa State freshman Haley Harden. If anyone hasn't seen this routine, it gives me Haley Skaman vibes.
Ooh, good call.
It gives me major Haley Skaman vibes. And it's like the beautiful double lay to open it up. And she has that ponytail. Like, she has a good, like, bump pony. Like, it's very 2011 OU, you know? Stunning double lay. She goes 1.5 front lay, second pass. And then, oh my God, a 3 pass floor routine ends with a double pike. It is so good. And I just think it needs more attention.
I agree. It's beautiful. Well
It's
done.
stunning.
We've covered a lot of ground with a lot of schools this week, it
I
feels like.
know. I'm like really loving this from us.
I love it. I love it. I think it's important. I was actually thinking about this the other day. There's a image floating around of people trying to watch as many schools as they possibly can this season.
Mm-hmm.
Checking them off. I was wanting to go through actually and mark off the schools of student athletes that we've talked about on the
Wait, fun. Let's
podcast.
do
I
that.
think it'd be cool, and I think it'd be a cool challenge for us to highlight someone from every school.
I
So.
love it.
It's a little challenge for us, but very cool. Okay, those are our event bubbles. I'm gonna quickly go to our program growth bubbles and just read
Mm.
these through that we just were really impressed with that happened this weekend. Number one, Iowa State hosted a Beauty and the Beast meet, which for those of you that don't know, that's where they pair wrestling with gymnastics all in one arena. It's the energy is there. We saw it at Missouri earlier this year. I I've been hearing a lot of people talk about these Beauty and the Beast meets being really cool, really super cool, and I'm sure that the energy. I would love to be present for one year because I'm sure that the energy is just high and awesome. But at this Beauty and the Beast meet, they had 9,470 fans, which is the largest Beauty and the Beast in school history for Iowa State, which is so,
That's
so.
amazing.
Yep. Some other ones that I wanted to note, Auburn sold out their arena for their meet against Oregon State, which is very cool. I also wanted to note this coming weekend, Clemson has announced that they've sold out their meet coming up, which is very cool. And then the other program growth bubble I wanted to note is I have been seeing from some student athletes and some staff members that I believe the University of Iowa has moved into their brand new practice facility. So we
And Minnesota.
and Minnesota moved into theirs a couple weeks ago, and so I believe Iowa has moved in, which is so cool. It's so exciting for them. I mean, to see the investment into the sport of gymnastics in a time frame when we might be seeing some programs going by the wayside or being in limbo, it's really cool to see the investment in that way. So I'm excited for them. Okay,
Those were good.
bubbly. Let's do some bubbly vibes. Um, I have two, and they are actually in the form of questions. So after I ask you my questions, um, I think maybe you have some questions that you got on your Instagram poll.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay, so Olivia does not know these questions that I'm about to pose to her because
I
they
love
were
this.
just moments in my heart that I just needed to bring to her attention. Up first, um, Julianne Hough or Julianne Hough, does a Dancing with the Stars host lead the Auburn vault rotation?
You know what this is reminding me of? Did you watch Dancing with the Stars last season? Did you watch it?
Yeah, a little
Okay,
bit.
okay. So there was one of the episodes where Julianne was interviewing Steven Netarosik and Riley Arnold after their performance. And she was like, God, watching you guys just makes me want to get out there and dance. She goes, so I'm going to, like, rips her like jacket off and is like in full-blown tassels and like runs down the stairs and does this whole routine to like what is it? It was that TikTok trend that's like looking for a guy in finance or whatever.
Oh,
And
perfect.
it was amazing. And so all I'm thinking about now is that Julianne Hough running down a vault lineup in the tassel pants to looking for a man in finance.
Right,
This is where my brain goes. This is where my
right.
brain goes.
Fist bumping Paige Zancan. We have like Kiko Jong being like, "Hey, girl," and then all of a sudden we have tassels and cha.
Julianne Hough. My girlfriend Nora, who is a newer gymnastics fan, is playing fantasy this year with me and a couple of people in two separate leagues. And she drafted her in one of the leagues and said, Julianne Hough. And everyone died. But she also initially, like, everyone was like, what do you mean? She was like, Julianne Hough from Auburn. So funny.
It's
So,
amazing.
so, so, so funny.
Okay, anyways, I guess that wasn't really a question. It was just more of a comedic moment. This is a real question that I have for you. Okay.
Okay. Hit me.
So during the Auburn versus Oregon State meet, they were highlighting the fact that this year, Oregon State is the only member of the Pac-12 conference. So
Mm.
they won't have a championship. So they will be off
Oh,
during conference championship weekend.
that
So I have a
sucks.
question for you.
Okay.
You know that this year, one team, one SEC team will not go and compete at the SEC championship because
Right.
of the addition of Oklahoma. There are now 9 teams. Do you think that the team that doesn't make the SEC championship should just have a dual meet with Oregon State so they both can get another score for
Yes, no
the
question.
US,
No questions asked. 1000%.
right?
1000%. And how do we make it happen?
I just think
It
that
makes sense.
Oregon State needs to just decide that they're going to host a home meet that weekend, and whoever doesn't make it in the SEC flies to Corvallis.
Text Tanya.
I'm going to,
I
truthfully.
mean, it makes sense to me.
Because that is truly the biggest downfall. Of course, you have championship
Yeah.
scoring, you have the championship environment, but the biggest downfall is not having an additional score. And then the SEC,
Or getting that experience for
correct,
both of those teams.
correct. And having 2 weeks off
Yeah, I
before
don't like that.
competing at regionals. So I just think
Yeah.
it's a good idea.
I love it. Let's pitch it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. What were your questions that you got?
Oh, yeah, I will do my questions. But the first thing I did want to say is that there was news that came across all of the socials about Bama superstar Cam Machado.
Yeah.
I did see this that she medically retired from the sport. And it's always hard to see when people medically retire. Like, you just want to hug them because you just know emotionally, physically, all of the things. It's a lot. And I don't really know much of her story on why, and it's not my business unless she chooses to share. But I just wanted to send incredible happy thoughts to her and thank her for the amazing gymnastics journey she gave us. That bar routine, like, I don't like blindfold double tucks, but when Cam Machado did it, I liked blindfold double tucks. She just made fetch happen on bars, and I just love her. And so just sending her all the positive energy, and that just so she knows that her gymnastics will be incredibly missed, but we're very proud of her for doing what she needs to for her mind, body, soul. So I needed to put that in there.
I echo you.
So that I needed to say that. Okay, we do have a couple of questions that we'll cruise through here. Let me look at my stuff. I did post a photo of Antonia on my Instagram to ask people to submit questions. So, okay, the first one is actually from my little brother, which
Oh,
always concerns me.
oh
If
no.
if you don't know my brother, Evan, he is one of a kind.
He's an icon, truly.
Let's just say he makes me look shy and quiet.
Correct.
So my brother commented and said, I genuinely want to know and need to know how many NCAA gymnasts have been on the Matterhorn ride at Disneyland.
Ah!
Nobody knows this, so I will give background. My brother is obsessed with roller coasters, has been his whole life, and his dream as when we were children was to ride the Matterhorn. And so every time someone would go to LA or go to an amusement park, he'd go, "Did you go on the Matterhorn?" So Evan genuinely wants to know how many people. So if you are an NCAA gymnast, former or current, just send us a emoji of an amusement park to tell us if you've been on the Matterhorn or not, because he's gonna ask me how many. Yeah,
This is incredible. Okay, yes, just to reiterate, please send. I was speechless until you gave us the action step. Please send the emoji amusement park roller coaster emoji to Olivia or I if you have ever been on the
please,
Matterhorn. Please,
please. I
please.
just like need it so badly.
We need
Um,
it.
okay, my second one actually is about Antonia.
Oh,
Um,
Tonian.
Antonia. Okay, so the question was, who is Antonia's favorite mascot?
Oh,
Now, Antonia is very scared of a lot of things. I rescued her. So she is my pride and joy. She's the love of my life, but she's scared of a lot of things. So I think if Antonia saw a mascot, she'd shriek. But
correct.
I'm going to say her favorite mascot is, I don't know. What do you think, Corey?
For some reason, the ones that come to mind are the husky. We just
Oh,
have some nice multicolored dog fur
do you want the husky?
on both of them.
Do you want the husky?
But then I also just think that a picture of Antonio with many mascots would just be iconic. Like, can you imagine with like the gator or or the BYU cougar,
Yeah,
right?
I need it. I need
Right.
it. I need a photo of her with a mascot.
Correct.
So to answer that question, I don't know, but we'll find out.
Right. We're getting some.
Whichever one gives her cheese.
Too bad Wisconsin doesn't have a mascot
They do a badger.
or a gym. I mean a gymnastic.
Gymnastic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you. Got you. Okay, so
I'm really glad that the people are giving us great questions in
I
the.
know this is so much fun. Okay, and then the final one is a question UCLA versus MSU predictions. We would
Well,
be remiss to not talk about that. And thankfully, Corey and I are both going.
we'll be
So,
there. We'll be there, people.
surprise, surprise, you're going to get a little pre-meet preview from us, IRL in real life. And I'm really excited to see you this week.
I know. I cannot wait. It's the first time that Olivia and I have been together since the Gold Over America tour stop in Chicago
Oh my God,
back
it's actually been that long.
right back in October. I know it's been an eternity. We might cry real tears when we see each other.
Yeah,
But yes,
yeah.
we will be on the ground for Michigan State versus UCLA in Los Angeles. It is the alumni weekend, so I'm going to get to see a lot of my Bruin family and Bruin sisters, which I'm very excited about. And Olivia's going for Big Ten Digital to create some amazing content throughout the weekend because it's such an amazing matchup. So, here's what I'm going to say. These meets I adore because it gives us such an amazing preview and a little bit of competitiveness heading into a conference championship, right?
100%.
So we have this matchup happening in the regular season. And whatever the result is, the team that loses is going to be walking into Ann Arbor at the Big Ten championship wanting revenge.
1000%.
And
There's
I
like
I'm here for
major conference implications to this. So it's really exciting. It's on Fox. So exciting. Like there's just so many elements of excitement for this. So Corey and I will be there. We're gonna record a preview meet, watch situation episode. I couldn't get words out. And we just hope that you guys are excited to watch because it's just gonna be a really big meet for the sport.
For sure. Side note, because I don't know that a lot of people know this, I know in our sport, scores are everything. Scores are how people are ranked, scores are all of those things. But something that many people don't know that was news to me when I started working the Big Ten championship is that win and loss record does matter in the Big Ten because the win-loss record is what seeds you into the three sessions that are happening at the Big Ten championship. So, based on the win-loss record, that also is deciding who the top four teams are in the evening session, who the next four teams are, and then who the next four teams are. So
Yeah.
the win-loss of this meet is very important based on the other four teams that are within their four. And then, of course, all 12 teams are going to go to Big Fours at the respective locations and really decide that. But the win-loss record does matter in the Big Ten. It's not just based on national qualifying score.
Which
So
is fascinating and exciting, and it also determines regular season. So there are implications, and that's what makes it even more exciting. And they're number 5 and 6 in the country.
really
So
exciting. This is so
so
exciting.
many exciting things, and excited to give you guys a preview before.
Yes. So, Olivia, I cannot wait to see you this weekend.
You know, I'm gonna sob.
Going to be amazing. So we'll have some fun coverage for you all this weekend. But with that, we're going to wrap up this episode. I know we ran a little bit longer on this episode, but some really good stuff. Some good bubbles, some amazing gymnastics, and I just feel like there was a lot of gymnastics news this past week that was worthy of shouting out. So thank you everyone for watching this episode, episode 5 of On the Floor with Liv and Cor. Just a reminder, we are on the floor while we record these episodes, so my back
Yes.
does hurt a little bit, but it's fine. It's all for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Apple Podcasts, thank you for being there. We're on Spotify as well. Thank you for downloading, streaming, all the things. We want to hear from you. So anytime you have a question for us, slide into our DMs on Instagram. That's probably the best time, best place for us to reach you, for you to reach us. And with that, it's going to be a fun weekend ahead down in Los Angeles. And we are out. So have a great weekend. See you later.